The following podcast contains strong language and alternative facts. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Heel Podcast. Over the airwaves and under the influence, we are Turning Heel.
Welcome to day 2 of the Turning Heel podcast extravaganza, because that seems to be the thing that we do these days. We promise you everything in one episode, and then we decide to say, no, you wait, you will, because you will wait. You know you will. Fucking minxies. So yes, today we will run down Knockouts Knockdown. Impact Wrestling's latest offering.
A fucking week before Bound for Glory. Are you shitting me?
Wait, a week?
Is it not next week's Bound for Glory?
As in, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday?
So it would have been... No, it's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Just double checking.
No, it's definitely the 23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd. Do you know
Because
what it
I'm
was?
already... Yes,
They advertised on social media that they were doing like a face-to-face with Josh Alexander and Christian Cage.
Okay.
And normally that would kind of like, if you're doing like a face-to-face thing, that's normally the go-home.
That's the go home, yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah, that is weird.
Turns out I don't know everything about wrestling.
I know, Jesus. Well, you have always said that your lesser strong points have been more current wrestling, and so what's more current than right now wrestling?
Or wrestling that's not even happened yet.
Exactly. I mean, I'm assuming that we're obviously going to be partying for Bound for Glory. Just get a massive case of Red Bull, and we'll just stay up all night and do nothing but watch wrestling.
I might need to get back to you on that one.
No, you've already said that you were going to do it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You just say
Pretty
that
sure,
to
mate.
make me sound like an asshole.
Well, don't ditch me. Well,
Let's see what I can do.
who else am I going to ask? Chris? He's not even going to get through AEW, never mind Bound for Glory.
He's not going to make it to AEW.
True. If he does, it'd be a miracle. You know, the best part is, he does not listen to these episodes that he's not on. So
Chris, you're a big poo-poo head.
you smell like poop.
Poop, poop, poop.
Poop, poop. What did not smell like poop, though, was Knockouts Knockdown Impact Plus special from this past Saturday night, live, previously recorded from the same place they always are in Tennessee.
Skyway Studios?
See, that's what I said. The same place they always are in Tennessee.
This was recorded over 3 days. In the middle
3
of
days. Wow.
Because they were recording bits while they were taping Impact.
It's actually quite impressive, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would have thought that they would have just kind of recorded all this as is
No.
the pay-per-view.
No, it's all thinged. That's why they all time to change gear and shit like that. And remember
Yeah, I
when?
did notice that for Chelsea Green, at the very least, that she had different gear.
And do you remember we were watching the last one, Victory Road,
Yes,
and I pointed out the guy from the Total Nonstop Impact podcast and how he kept changing clothes.
That'll be why.
That'll be why, because it's fucking 3 different days. It's all separated.
I would love to go to an Impact recording just to see what bizarre shit is going on. You think that you're going for a pay-per-view, and then all of a sudden you get like half of an Impact, half of a pay-per-view, and then a couple of BTI matches, and Lord knows what else.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's clearly working for them.
Why not? It seems as if, well, actually, as soon as I was about to say that, I was going to say it seems like Skyway Studios seem to be working for them, but they're not exactly going to be there for very long because obviously they're going to Vegas. Yeah, they're going to Sam's Town, like the most sought after casino in Vegas for pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor does a lot of shows there.
And that was the same place that I went to see Paragon Pro Wrestling when I was in Vegas. Gangrel winning a championship in like 2017, 2018, whatever that was. Legend. Fucking legend. I'll never stop going on about Paragon Pro Wrestling despite the fact they don't exist anymore. But if you do want to see some Paragon Pro Wrestling, their archives still are on Fight TV.
For free?
For freezies.
Ooh, maybe.
I think early Hammerstone was there.
Well, Hammerstone when he wasn't an absolute at the side of a building.
Yeah, before he was famous, Hammerstone. Also, who else was there? Oh, there was another kind of prominent company that done Sam's Town. I said Ring of Honor, said Paragon. I guess it must be Impact that's doing it now.
Impact was doing Sam's Town shows before the pandemic.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to break it just a little bit of mystique about Sam's Town.
It's not a town.
No, it's not a town, but it's also not even close to the Strip. It is about 20 to 25-minute taxi ride from the Strip. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. When we went to see Paragon Pro Wrestling, you know how normally when you would go in a hotel, like it's got all the slot machines and there's people just fucking everywhere? We went in and there was about 2 people in the main area on slot machines while a band with a fake Elvis guy was singing Viva Las Vegas. And it's like, oh, bud, you were literally paid to perform in front of absolutely nobody. Then we went to the Paragon Pro Wrestling show, and you know what? It was fucking packed in there. So, I mean,
they're probably making
at least
money from people booking it as a venue rather than
And it must be relatively cheap since everybody seems to be going there. So there's that.
Yeah.
If a kind of independent Vegas-based company can do like their TV tapings there, and then like they're the same place that Ring of Honor and Impact are running, I can't imagine it's going to be that expensive.
Yeah. When Impact's going to be there
again,
the day of Bound for Glory, and then the Monday and the Tuesday after Bound for Glory doing their tapings.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in Sam's Town probably till the end of the year, television-wise.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Apparently, they also said during this pay-per-view that they're going back there for Turning Point, and then subsequent tapings afterwards.
they're doing their tapings. They're taping Turning Point during those tapings.
Really, from the way that I got it, that they were going back, as in, okay, so maybe they're just doing tapings throughout like the rest of the year in Samstown or something.
Or what?
Because they were like,
yes, they'll be at Samstown doing a couple of impacts. They'll tape Turning Point, go back to Skyway Studios, and tape then until they get to the date that Turning Point's in.
Because it was the way, yeah. And then maybe they're going back and then doing more TV tapings. I don't know exactly, but just the fact that they made the point in saying, oh, Turning Point's going to be also recorded at Samstown, and then they threw up the dates of like sometime in November. So maybe they're going back and doing more TV tapings in November.
Okay.
And they're just trying.
When they do the tapings, it's like a month. You do a month's worth of television.
I guess we'll see how it goes.
That covers them all the way up to Turning Point. Then, if they do a month's worth of television in those 2 days plus Turning Point, there, that covers them.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he also said that they were doing tapings afterwards. So unless they're doing Bound for Glory and then the TV tapings up until Turning Point, then recording, then that's them off.
That's what I was saying.
No, you said that they would be in the same taping. I'm saying that they're different. They're different tapings. I think we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently and getting muddled up.
Right, plain English, right? Bound for Glory is going to be live from Samstown on Saturday. Then on the Monday and the Tuesday, they're taping Impact and Turning Point.
Because that's where we're
a month at a time. They tape a month at a time. So there's no point in them going to Samstown, doing the taping just for Impact, to then go away, to then come back, to then do another taping for Turning Point.
But I mean, the whole thing that I'm saying is like the way that they promote Turning Point, I can't really not. That's the one thing that's kind of like getting us off kilter here. But they did say they're going back to Vegas for Turning Point. That would then imply, I don't know, that we're maybe doing more tapings around that time. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I guess
not exactly
this is kind of. I know. So I guess, you know what, fucking after Turning Point, we'll see where they record, and we can maybe hark back to this, you know, and maybe about a month and a half.
Here we go.
And then we'll see who's right. This is the Turning Point incident.
The Samstown incident.
Yeah, that one sounds better. Because it always seems to be the same thing where we're kind of on the same boat, but just very slightly differing to the point where it's like becoming aggressive for both of us.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the show.
Yes, Knockouts Knockdown. So we start with the entire roster, including all the guys, which was kind of a nice little thing. And obviously, as you say, with the way that this was recorded over the course of a couple of days, makes sense why there's men at a women's pay-per-view. So they're all out there. They're around the ring. Gail gets on the mic, and then she hands it over to Lexi Fife, which was fucking great to see her. Former pro wrestler. She was in the early days of Shimmer, good friends with Daphne, and she's there on behalf of Daphne's family. We get the 10 bell salute. Lexi Fife manages to choke out one thank you Daphne chant before she completely breaks down. So we get a nice little thank you Daphne chant. as we go into the opening. Sip of brewski for the working man. They cut to Veda Scott and Mickie James, who are on the call tonight. They start to run down the matches.
Fabulous job.
Yeah, they did. Veda, like, I'm not going to exactly say flubs. There was some kind of weird shit that she kept doing throughout the night, which I'll kind of slightly mention, but like, it just is what it is. Like, it's nothing like super annoying or anything. They start running down the card for the night, and then they bring up the match card for Monsters Ball, and then they bring up a photo of Kimberly, not in her current gimmick as a young woman.
An undead bridesmaid.
Yes. You kind of missed the boat on that one.
Well, that's not really down to Veda.
No, I'm not saying that was her fault whatsoever. No. I'm just saying the two of them were mentioning, and then that came up on the screen. I'm not blaming that one on her whatsoever. It was really weird. It was like, oh, we're gonna have a Monsters Ball match. There's Kimberly. It's like, that's not what she looks like.
Or if you're Taylor Wilde, a Monster Ball match.
Or if you're Awesome Kong later on, she calls it a Monster Balls match.
At least she put an S in there somewhere.
Yeah. But...
And Kong said it once. Taylor Wilde kept going on about a Monster Ball all the way through that fucking promo that she done.
But she's sweet. I'll let her away with it.
There's a reason you're not on this show.
Let's start the show with match number 1 and round number 1 of the Knockouts Tournament Cup. That's what I've decided to call it.
It's really cold in here all of a sudden.
What's that?
Oh, it's dead chilly. Oh.
Maybe you're being visited by Lady Frost.
Oh, there's a touch of frost in the air.
Well, I would like a touch of frost, if you know what I mean. It's really warm in here. So yeah, I'd like it to be a bit chillier. Lady Frost takes on Rachel Take 2. Compose yourself. Don't worry, Grizz. You're the man. You can do this.
Almighty.
You can do this. Come on. Okay, here we go. Her opponent was Rachel Ellering. Thank you. So Melissa Santos is doing the ring announcing for this, and it was about that time I realized, good God, did I miss this fucking woman?
Yes. It was weird seeing her in Impact. I've really missed her because it's normally the following lucha is scheduled for 1 fall, and I'm like, this is
introducing first.
And where's the lucha? The following lucha. But I miss you. Nice to see you.
Exactly. And there was a lot of nice to see you on the show.
There was. There was also a why the fuck are you on this show?
Oh. Well, I mean, I have that sort of mentality about one wrestler on the show, but it's going to be interesting to see who you're talking about.
I get the feeling we might be talking about the same person.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Let's stay tuned and see if it coincides. Coincides? Coincides? If it matches up. There you go. Fuck you. Lady Frost, ring announced from somewhere cold. And it's like, you can do better than that. Come on.
I quite like the vagueness of it.
I mean, it just, I can't help but feel as if, like, just somewhere, like, the deepest, darkest ice caves of Alaska or something like that. Like, yeah, I don't know, just, like, put a bit of a spin on it. Like, Alaska, yeah, we know that place is cold because that's where the polar bears live.
Might as well just say from Glasgow, Scotland, because it's pretty cold here too then.
No, that would be if your gimmick was something to do with rain. If it was black rain, then he was announced from Glasgow, Scotland. It would make all the sense in the world.
No, I like the vagueness of our home residence, just because it's like she's basically anywhere cold as our home.
Wherever I lay my Frost is where I call home.
Right. So it's like anywhere in the world that's cold, it's considered home to her.
You might find some Lady Frost there. I mean, wait until like fucking February, because that seems to be your winter these days. Is like middle of February, beginning of March, where it like that's where blizzard happens. Can't wait for that shit. Lady Frost, Rachel Ellering, here we go. Ellering almost takes Melissa off the apron when she comes out because she does a kind of loop around the ring, high-fiving, and then she's about to run up the stairs as Melissa Santos is coming down the stairs, and then she just kind of stands there like, okay. And then like Melissa Santos also kind of stalls because I think she put the mic down while she was like holding the ropes to get out, and then has to pick it back up. And then Rachel Ellering's just standing there like, that's okay, I'll wait. And then she kind of runs up the stairs and gets in the ring like, as you were. A match starts. We get Rachel with chops in the corner. Lady Frost starts fighting back with chops of her own. And early going, it almost seems as if Rachel was sort of working heel. I can't really kind of put my finger on why. It's just,
I think it was
just like
she was working a tad more aggressively to try and get the match over quickly, because in her head, she had another 2 matches to go.
Tournament, yeah, maybe. Because Rachel's working over Frost in the corner. Frost then starts to fire up, come back like with chops in her own, as I says, and the pop that Frost got from that kind of like fight back was like quite. It came kind of out of nowhere. Like I'll talk about it when we're done about my thoughts on Lady Frost, but like she's still like kind of climbing up there in terms of notoriety. This is the 3rd company I've seen her in. She's definitely doing well, but anyway, I'll hold the thoughts until the end here. Frost drops the knees from a handstand position onto Ellering, and the ref just kind of dilly-dallies and doesn't really follow up on the pin because she's sort of sitting on Ellering's chest, like on her knees, and the ref's just kind of like do. Oh fuck, you're pinning her. 1, 2, nope. There's a moonsault by Frost for 2. Frost goes to the second. That's taken down by Rachel. That was a standing moonsault, by the way. Frost misses a kick, but gets it on the swing back. Rachel with a lariat for a double down. They start going back and forth, trying moves from the corner, but as one would run at the corner and then the other would run back to then try and run back to them, the other would follow, and this kind of went back and forth and back and forth. Pretty fun little spot, must admit. Ellering gets a springboard leg drop for 2. Frost goes for a cartwheel cannonball, but Ellering gets a roll up for 2. I think she calls that like the snowball fight. And I think that's a fucking fantastic name. Well done. Ellering gets a spine buster for 2. Frost climbs onto the apron, clutching her back. And this part was just really weird. I can't help but feel as if like maybe after the spine buster, like Frost kind of just got a wee bit of, ooh, something's not right here. Because of the way like she just completely stopped selling and was just like, and then like Ellering was trying to like kind of continue, and Frost was just kind of like, fuck off. It's like when when you and your pals used to like play Jackass or something as kids, and like one of you would get really hurt, but all the rest are like in your face, and you're just like, right, just fuck off a second, just fuck off. You're like per keeling over. It's kind of like that. She was like, just give me a second. She gets on the apron. She manages to compose herself. I think she just maybe got the wind knocked out of her or something. Frost then hits a blockbuster, which is, always a move that I appreciate. And then Ellering botched the timing off of that because I don't see how that would be Frost's fault. And then again, Frost goes up to the second. Again, she was stopped. Electric chair to the top rope, goes Frost. Kind of shitty boss woman slam, and Rachel Ellering wins.
I thought that was fun. Like, no pun intended, but I think Lady Frost's on fire. I mean, we've seen her on in Power. She was on Dark.
She certainly was.
And so she's building up, as you said, notoriety, getting her name out there, putting in impressive performances.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing here is like, this has been the first time that Lady Frost has had an actual, proper, genuine match. Like, in terms of, it's not just, oh, I'm here to be establishment talent. Like, this was the first time where she got to properly show what she could do. And you know what? I am absolutely all in her. I think she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's
like, and it's a no pun intended, but it's a damn shame that it's taken this long, because I've known about Lady Frost probably for about 6 or so months at this point from her dark appearances, and this is the first time where I've actually seen a match of hers where I've went, holy shit, this chick can fucking go. And
you sat up and took notice.
Yeah, and I mean, I always kind of liked her at least a little bit. It's like, she's all right. She's got a cool look, a decent gimmick, yada yada yada. And this is finally the first time where she's been allowed to go out there and be like, right, this is me. This is the shit that I can do. Watch me be this fucking awesome.
I'm digging it. Digging Lady.
Yeah. Yep. 100% agree, and Impact day it, just scoop her up.
Aye. When you need more knockouts.
Shite bag if you don't.
I love you for saying
that. But yeah, like, just as I say, like, and as you also said, like, yeah, this this is the first time she's properly got to have a showcase match, a proper match that wasn't just enhancement talent or anything like that. And she fucking knocked out of the park. And it just goes to show that she lost this match. I would have actually 100% argued that she should have beat Rachel Ellering.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought she was a hell of a lot better in this whole match in general than Rachel was. No disrespect, but I was never the massivest fan of Rachel Ellering ever anyway, so.
Leaps and bounds better than Rachel Ellering.
It's just, cause she's just so fucking cool. No pun intended. Oh my god. Just like some of the shit she was doing, like that kind of Ace Austin style kick that she does, where she just kind of does the handstand. It's just like key up, kick to the face, like just little shit like that. It's like, god damn it, like, yeah, just hire Impact, do it. Should beg if you don't. But I mean, we'll move on to the next match as Renee Michelle took on Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Why are they here?
Renee Michelle.
Well, I was going to say, like, to a lesser extent, why not pick her up as well? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not anywhere near in the same sort of vein as Lady Frost, but I think Renee Michelle could probably be a good sort of lower mid-carder when it comes to the women's division. Like, she does have like a bit of a gimmick. She's the pretty girl. I mean, she works that in this match. It's pretty plain to see. But I mean, like, if Impact were to hire, do I see her winning any titles anytime soon? No, not really. But she could be there for a decent hand.
No.
But okay, I get what you're saying.
Because she wrestles like it's fucking 2009 in WWE.
But would you not at least say that she's better than she was when we seen her a couple of months ago?
She went from fucking swamp green to fucking lime green. She's still fucking green.
Yeah, but she looked better in this match, is what I'm trying to say.
Improvement. In fact, she probably looked better the first time I seen her as part of the Knockouts Tag Tournament because she was paired with Killer Kelly.
Yeah, maybe. maybe like for your argument, it was purely because she was part of a tag team, so you didn't have to see her the entire match.
Yeah. You could hide a lot of our
weaknesses in a tag.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'm completely diabolical. In fact, like wait till the last line of my notes. The start of it started off kind of cool with the two of them. It was Renee Michelle versus Chelsea Green in the second match of the first round of the Knockouts Cup tournament. They do a lockup. They won't get out of the lockup. They start doing rolls around, like get back up, still in the lockup, kind of like that. It's just kind of like one of the things. One of the few things actually made Renee Michelle kind of look like she had at least something, like bit of strength, yada yada. Green drops Renee in her face. This enrages Renee because she's like, "You dropped me in my beautiful face." Every time Renee tries to mount offense, Chelsea Green goes to a headlock. This just happens for like a minute straight, and it, for some reason, amused me highly. It was just like, I'm going to get you. Nope, headlock. No, right, okay, I'll fight out of that, right? Okay, I'm going to get you. Nope, headlock. No, right, stop the fucking headlock. Right, okay, here we go. Right, drop kick. Oh no, I missed it. Oh, headlock. Just a way to make somebody like so pissed off so quickly.
It just
made
me look like a fucking goon.
What, constantly getting caught in the headlock?
It just very much proved my point in a way.
But like also like you could look at it in the way of like, right, she was dropped on her pretty face. I don't know why I put that in air quotes, like as if it wasn't real. She got dropped on her pretty face. Now she's raging, and so it's kind of like that tunnel vision of, oh, I'm gonna get you, and then Chelsea Green's just like, okay, well, headlock, right? And so I was like, just Renee is that angry that she just keeps coming at her, and Chelsea just keeps shutting her down with the most basic of wrestling maneuvers. Like I can kind of get what you're saying, but like I'm kind of looking at it in that sort of way of like, oh, she's raging, so she's not thinking, she's just doing. And then that's why she just keeps getting caught, because she's like, right, well, if I thought strategically, this would probably turn out different.
I think you're giving her too much credit.
Yeah, I'm trying to give her some credit. Like, it is what it is.
Up. At least she married up.
Yeah. I mean, the argument here is who's punching above their weight.
Renee Michelle.
So Renee starts working on the injured arm of.
Wait. Do you think when they get to sexy time, Renee Michelle goes up on Drake?
It's like one of those pornos that you see where it's like a really like not even like a small person, as in like a short person, but just like you get like the really tall part. Yeah, you get like the shorter, like say like 5 foot, like kind of Alexa Bliss height, and then you get like the porn star that's like 7 foot tall that pure like manhandles them. It's like I wonder if that's the kind of thing that kind of happens between the two of them. And I can't help but feel as if like maybe when it comes to Drake Maverick, maybe he's like maybe into that kind of stuff.
He's a really nice guy.
He is from the. I suppose I've technically met him twice. Granted, both those times I spoke to him were on the same night. Yeah, I think so. I had met him once at Rev Pro, and then I was like, that was the kind of time I was asking him about his awesome suits that he was rocking in TNA, and I was like, oh man, my favorite suit was the one that looked like it was the TV channel going off air. And it's like a lot of people ask about that suit, and it's like it's because it was the best one. And then I was like, I like that one time where EC3 just ripped a pocket off your suit and just ripped the whole jacket down. I was fucking devastated, and it was just like, it was like that kind of thing where I was like, I had been drinking like going into the show, and I was like, so was that rigged, or was he just that strong that he just did it? It's like he's just that strong, and it's like I don't really know what I expected from that answer, because like both would make a shit ton of sense, but for some reason EC3 being that strong just makes that much more sense.
Do you see what I've done?
EC3.
I've distracted you so we don't have to talk about this match. You
motherfucker. Right. You're aware that like when I stopped talking.
Third match of the first round.
You're aware that when I stop talking about like the rundown of the match, I keep my place, so it's not going anywhere. The best thing you'd let me do is just run down the match, and then we'll be done with it.
Bastard.
Exactly. You counteracted yourself.
Fucking self-sabotage. Fuck.
Exactly. God, how long have we been doing this fucking show for, and you don't realise my shtick?
I'm still learning.
Every day is a school day is the same. Renee then starts to work on the injured arm of Chelsea, smashing it on the mat, smashing it on the apron. Renee with a bridging arm submission, and then a code breaker to the arm. That's a double knees. But Green hits a pump kick to Renee in her pretty face, giving Green some time to recoup. There's a big insecurity by Green and a drop kick that completely missed for 2. I guess just the fright of being drop kicked in the face was enough to drop Renee. Renee gets a spinning kick of her own for 2 as Green gets the ropes. Renee attempts a neck breaker, but Green counters into the Unprettier for the victory. Bit clunky at times. Actually, hold on. I say bit clunky, but my notes say big clunky.
Well, your notes are not wrong.
That's unfortunate.
That's a new name now. Big Clunky, Renee Michelle.
Yep. But I still said
Big Clunky.
I still said this is not the worst women's match I've seen this year.
Well, it's the worst, in my opinion, this was the worst match on this card.
I mean, you're not wrong. Match number 3. You'll see, that's the thing, is I have like 2 worst women's matches of the year. And so it's going to be interesting to kind of decide which is actually going to be the worst in the Heelys. But I think I'm leaning towards one more than the other, just purely because I, at this point, know which one yours is. So tune in. Tune in at the end of December to hear the 2nd annual Healy Awards. Match number 3, Mercedes Martinez versus Undead Brandy Lauren in the Knockouts Cup tournament.
Why didn't they swap the times? Give fucking Chelsea Green and Renee the time that was given to Mercedes Martinez.
It was a complete slaughter. The OG dropped 1, 2, 3 and it's over.
Yeah. Why not give fucking Chelsea Green that time with Renee Michelle?
Per Brandy. Like,
I would have liked to have seen them actually go. But I do get that they were trying to establish Mercedes as a fucking badass, just rip through people.
Like, the thing is, I know Brandy Lauren by name only. Like, I've maybe seen, like, this is probably like what, the 4th match I've seen her in, and the other 2, oh, okay, well, 3 of those matches have been her matches on Impact. The one where she jobbed and then got taken away by Su Yung and her minions, and then the 6-woman tag, that was on Impact recently, and then this one. So
you
and then,
don't
like, maybe
Dark or anything?
Maybe one from, if she was on Dark, then I don't really remember her. And I feel like the only other time I did see her was like during the short times I kind of poked my head in and out of Ring of Honor.
Because she's been about.
She has been about, exactly. That's why I know the name. I feel like she was maybe under WWE contract for a bit. Like maybe she's on a kind of.
I think she was sort of per appearance deal on NXT and just squashes.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm thinking is like anything that she's done has not been anything of like a proper note.
Which is why I
it's just been
to have seen her wrestle a wee bit more in a singles capacity. But I mean, Mercedes Martinez quashed her. I'm not mad at it. It's Martinez.
Excuse me.
I'm happy. That I would have. They gave it a bit more time. Probably would have been a wee bit more happier, but still happy. I'm conflicted.
I know it is weird that like Su Yung has kind of taken over these couple of women, and she's kind of made her own undead faction, despite the fact that we already have Decay, which kind of are already running that kind of gimmick. And you know, they're massive fucking losers.
Yeah, a bit more time. Say when Sue comes back. Like,
Yeah, because where really has she been recently? Like, she had like one kind of backstage segment with the two of them, and then that's been like the only thing of Su Yung that I've seen recently.
I think I don't know if she's maybe just taking some time off and she's maybe recuperating for a naggy injury, not like a serious one, but just one that's kind of like my knee's giving me jip. And I can wrestle.
Yeah, just
rest and not fuck up is kind of the way that I'm looking at it.
Just kind of like banged up a bit. Just give me like a month. Here's a way to keep the Su Yung-esque essence around is by having my minions go out and lose matches.
Mm-hmm. And then I come back and whip them into shape. Job done.
Yeah. The fourth match in the Knockouts Cup tournament, round 1, sees Jamie Senegal versus Tasha Steelz. So Jamie Senegal, like, we get like kind of these promos before every match, kind of describing who everybody is. The only kind of time I took note was when Jamie Senegal says that I'm going to dedicate this tournament to my mother, Daphne. And then I was like, wait, what? So I spent half of this match trying to Google, thinking that Jamie Senegal was the kid of Daphne.
No.
But Veda does say on commentary that Daphne, Senegal is Daphne's wrestling daughter, as in, like, not literal, but like spiritual.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit like drag queens and drag families.
Mm-hmm.
Your drag mother's like the first person to put you in drag.
Right.
So it's kind of like that.
Same sort of kind of, I mean, it's all the LGBT kind of, what's the word? I don't know. Like, it's all kind of the same bubble.
It's relative within the community.
Yeah. There we go. So when I finally got back to the match, Senegal was hanging upside down from the top rope by her knee while Tasha pulls her head back. Jesus fucking Christ.
Thank God she's flexible.
Yeah, Jesus. That was fucking brutal. Spinning kick out the corner by Senegal gets 2. Senegal with a springing German. That was fucking awesome. So to set the scene, Steelz was kind of like hands on the ropes, kind of bending forward. Senegal then runs at her, grabs her by the waist, flips her own body around, bounces off the top rope, bounces back into a German suplex. Like, maybe been the first time I've seen it, but it's been the first time I've seen it recently. And just the way that, like, just because Senegal is such a tall person, like, it was actually really impressive that she managed to pull that off with just such, kind of kind of ease. It was very impressive.
She's impressive, but there's room for improvement. But there's plenty of potential there. Plenty of potential.
We're talking about green wrestlers. Like Senegal definitely is on the early-ish stages of her career. But yeah, there's definitely potential there. She goes for a sliced bread at one point, but Tasha hangs onto the ropes. Tasha gets a bulldog while Senegal's in the ropes. This was quite interesting as well. Like
it was modified Stratisfaction almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Because Senegal was kind of on the apron with her top half of the body through the ropes, and then that's how Tasha hit the bulldog, was grabbing the head, bouncing off the ropes, and then kind of planting her into the mat. The cutter by Tasha gets countered to roll up for 2. Tasha then hits the cutter the second time round for a 2 count, which kind of angered Tasha. She gets back up. Tasha then hits the crucifix bomb, gets the victory, and I mean, absolute props goes to Jamie Senegal for her performance. I would argue this was actually a hell of a lot better than her NWA performance.
To be fair, in the NWA match, there was 10 other women.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't really get a chance to shine here, there in that match, because it was a battle royal, so you don't really get to shine very much in battle royals
unless you're one of the last 2 people in.
Exactly. But I've got to admit, like, this was one of Tasha Steele's better performances. I think she very much benefited. No, I said that right the first time. Yep. She definitely benefited from the fact that she didn't have Savannah Evans out with her.
I thought Tasha was fucking amazing all night.
Yeah, like I'm building to that, but I mean, spoilers for later. Like, this is genuinely turned me into a Tasha Steelz fan. Like, I've always kind of thought she was all right. She was doing her own kind of thing, but you know, she's that sneaky heely heel that does sneaky heely heel things, like by always having somebody at her side to interfere in, blah blah blah. This was like one of the first times where, like, she's came out on her own and she's shown what she could do, and it's quite surprising the fact that she's been in Impact this long, and now after how long has she been there? Maybe a year and a half. Just an absolute guess that now she's shown what she can do, and it's like, holy fuck, you know what? She's actually really good at what she does, and it's kind of disappointing that it's taken this long because of the kind of gimmick that she's ran of, oh, it's me and Kira, oh, it's me and Savannah, oh, like, they're going to interfere for me and all that.
Mm-hmm. I get what you mean.
So, backstage, we get a Gail Kim interview. She asks who's going to win the tournament, and Gail Kim pulls a Medusa.
Well, she's organised the show, so she doesn't exactly want to pull favourites. So it's not really in my opinion anyway, it's not really a Medusa. At least she knew,
but you take that out of the equation, though. It's just like the kind of weasel word thing of, like, who's going to win? The person that's the most passionate, the person that has the most drive. And it's like, that's not what she asked.
But she went through the remaining 4 people and she said, this person can win it because blah, blah, blah. This person can win it because blah, blah, blah. She actually knew the people's names, gave valid reasons for why each of the 4 could win the tournament, and then finished off her statement by saying the person who has the most passionate one.
You're not wrong there. I just call it pick that in a different way. Like I just liked the whole Medusa reference.
That's when you don't know anyone's
Because,
name. Just talk and talk and talk until someone gives you a name.
Yeah. I mean, God, that was bad though. At least, yeah, you're right. At least Gail Kim knew the people that she was talking about. It was just like, okay, right. Well, I don't know. Does it really matter who you think is going to win? Doesn't mean they'll win. Like, I don't know. Maybe could have just went for, I don't know, Chelsea Green. She might not be the most experienced, but you know what? She's probably had the most big time experience. And she's been in every big American wrestling company there is. Actually, it's fucking Mercedes was also in WWE. Well, fuck that. Never mind. The next match was the Pick Your Poison match, as Deanna Purrazzo took on Mickie James's pick, and the poison was Masha Slamovich.
See, I don't call her Masha Slamovich.
Do you call her Masha Slamovic?
No, I call her Masha Slamovich.
Masha.
Aye. Like, it was almost like a Michinoku driver type move that she'd done to Deonna. I was like, oh, she slammed that bitch. And I was like, oh, slam a bitch.
Oh!
She slams bitches.
She slams them bitches.
I just love the fact that she looks like Thingy from the Russian wrestler from Glow.
She does.
It's so fucking cool.
Because I seen an old photo of her when she has her hair. She has like long black and red hair, and I was like, wait, that's the same person. And also, I found out she's like 23. Wrestlers are getting too young, or I'm just getting too old. Either way,
we're getting old, Chris. It's a horrible story. We're getting old.
Not this way. I'm young at heart. Actually, my heart's probably about fucking 60. I mean, when your surname is Slamovich, what did you expect her to grow up to be?
Does what it says in the tin. If it walks
like a duck,
sounds like a duck, it's a duck.
So Masha, with a series, or I wrote a serious. I've got into Chris territory. Masha with a series of slams, belly to belly style, snap suplex. Masha dives to Raywalt, who did accompany Deanna to the ring. But during that dive, that gives Deanna time to take down Masha. Deanna messes the hair of Masha. Oh, big rage. Don't you touch that hair. Did you fall asleep?
That was me growling.
Oh. It did like an angry pig. What happened there? Masha gets a beast of a dropkick into a jackknife cover for 2. Deanna gets a submission with her leg around the head and arm of Masha. Masha gets to the ropes. Masha then dodges a boot from Deanna, gets a spinning kick.
Was it not a Koji clutch?
Perchance. I just didn't know the name of it. Sometimes I literally just describe moves as I see them because I don't know the names of them. So maybe the Koji clutch. Maybe the closest to it, maybe being a modified Koji clutch. Because if it's a modified version, that means if you kind of get it wrong, then you've got the word modified there as a weasel word. Masha with another series of awesome moves, ending in my beloved spinning heel kick for Trois. Diana with the
3?
The knee. What?
You said.
And oh, shit. What? Undo. Trois. Yeah, Trois 3. Fuck. Yeah, do. No, because that's the catchphrase with the fucking loser manager from Nick Gage from yesterday's show.
Mm-hmm.
Diana with the knee has the Russian leg sweep into the armbar, but Masha rolls through, plants Diana straight in her head with a driver for the deepest of 2 counts.
That was the Slamavich moment.
Slamavich. Diana gets the armbar again, but Masha keeps hold of said arm, gets the ropes. Masha has a kick to the knee, a kick to the head, but Diana evades the next move, locks in the gummy Venus de Milo, and Masha Slamovich gives up. Diana gets the victory.
Very good. Very good match.
Gummy Venus de Milo, the most devastating of submissions.
Why'd you call it the gummy?
Someone's not getting the Simpsons reference.
Oh, right. I get you now. It took a minute. That sweet candy.
This is the rarest gummy of them all. The gummy Venus de Milo. Made out of pure gummy. Would you stop saying gummy so much?
Thank you.
Precious Venus. Okay, so this was the point during this show when I watched it that I said Lady Frost and Masha Slamovich are the 2 women of all these women shows that have recently shown me something. Get them hired. Well, you know what? Impact is at least half listened to me, and they have hired Masha Slamovich or Slamovich. I don't know why I said her name like that. So Masha Slamovich is apparently Impact bound. Slamovich.
Yep, she's the newest member of the Knockouts roster.
Yeah, boy. Good for her. She deserves it. Now just hire Lady Frost.
Agreed.
Yes. We move on to round dos. Mercedes Martinez takes on Rachel Ellering. What? Again, kind of just Rachel Ellering kind of working slightly heelish. I don't know.
Don't know, because Mercedes wasn't exactly facey. I mean, she was targeting the body part, which is quite a heel thing to do.
I know. It's just a vibe that I get from her. I guess it kind of stems from the feud that was not a feud between her and Jordan Grace recently.
Is it maybe because like smiling's now a part of her gimmick? Does it maybe come across as disingenuous?
Maybe. It's hard to put a finger on. Like, I don't know if it's just maybe just because like when it comes to Rachel Ellering, it's kind of one of those things of I just kind of not been a massive fan of her, and so any kind of time it just seems as if she even does something slightly heelish, she was like, oh, just any reason to not like you very much.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, like, as I say, it's hard to put a finger on. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like,
she doesn't excite me.
She doesn't though. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, talk about one wrestler that's getting by on the name of your fucking family.
Mm-hmm. Like, probably the best compliment I could have for her is she has a nice smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a wrestler, that's kind of not what you want to hear.
No, it's really not. Because I mean, like, the whole thing was like there was this kind of. It was during the. Was it the first, the second? One of the Mae Young Classics, the one that had Tessa Blanchard and what's her butt? Rachel Ellering both in it.
The first one.
And I was like, oh man, see if you fucking hired the two of those, and then I was trying to think of like a fourth to make like a whole female second generation faction. I think like I was probably just like, I don't know, just fucking hire Lacey Von Erich if she's still doing anything.
Lacey Von Erich, who's not actually a Von Erich.
Sure, why not? Because I think during that time I was like, I can't think of anybody else, but I feel like a faction needs 4 people.
No, you can do it with 3 as a trio.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, is there anybody else?
I'm thinking. Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson? Oh yeah, Al Wilson.
Natalia.
Yeah, in fact, I think she might have been. But yeah, I was kind of thinking like, just team them up because like you've never really had like a generational like women's faction before, so just like have all of them being like, you know, the daughters of, I mean, relatively famous wrestlers, and kind of see how that goes from there.
Charlotte.
But yeah, no, Charlotte was maybe the leader.
All right, okay. I get you now.
But like, I don't know. Well, like, what would you think? Do you think that like that could have worked?
Yeah, no. Because it didn't exactly work out for Legacy, did it?
I mean, they had a run for a bit,
But then
and I feel like that was kind of bad booking that fucked them over.
So what makes you think WWE's booking would do this right?
Because Charlotte's in it.
Aye, so Charlotte will be the only one that's booked strong, while the other ones are like fucking minions.
I mean, again, that's kind of one of these things where it's like, it's fantasy booking, and obviously it never fucking happened because both Tessa and Rachel never got hired. I felt like Rachel hung about for a bit.
Yeah, she did. I think that's how she met Chris Hero.
Oh, are they still together?
Yeah.
Well, good for them, I guess. I mean, because you're obviously the knowledge of everyone who dates everyone in pro wrestling these days.
We have an update as well. If you watch Roads to the Top, you might have seen in the coming up this season. Big Shotty's shagging Julia Hart.
I have heard about that, yeah. I mean, good for him, I guess. I mean, well, what age is Big Shotty?
What makes you think I would know?
I don't know. You seem to know fucking everything else about them, so...
I don't know. I don't know much about the extras.
Oh no, I dropped the controller.
Oh, Keisaki.
God damn it. It was also the rest for my fucking phone as well. It's all gone tits up. Okay, there we go. We're settled again. So we are looking at Mercedes Martinez versus Rachel Ellering. So there was a spear by Martinez onto the apron to Rachel. Mercedes then starts working on the injured ribs. There's a twisted neck breaker by Mercedes for 2. Mercedes with like a sort of regal stretch-esque submission, but Rachel makes the ropes quickly. Mercedes misses a big boot in the corner and then kind of tweaks her leg. There's an STO and the springboard leg drop from Rachel for 2. There's a deep spine buster that gets 2 for Mercedes. Rachel gets a discus punch and then a spinning suplex, and then goes for her kind of shitty looking spine buster for 2. Rachel hits a not great looking Bossman Slam.
I liked the Bossman Slam in this match. Say like the multiple rotations. I thought
it looks like she's about to drop her at any second. Like it looks as if like Rachel just does not have the upper body strength to be holding up someone for that amount of time. And like it genuinely scared me. Like as you say, like the amount of rotations, it was like she's gonna fucking drop her. She's gonna drop her.
But that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but before she's ready to be dropped. It's just, I mean, if you're going to do something and you're going to call it the Boss Man Slam, do it like the Big Boss Man, because Big Boss Man was fucking Minsky on his fucking Boss Man Slams.
Abyss made it better.
This is also true. Abyss made that move his own, though, to almost the point where I almost consider them different maneuvers.
What do you mean, like the diving the RKO?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They're the same but different. But after Rachel hits the Bossman Slam, Mercedes rolls out the ring. There's a Fisherman Buster by Mercedes. Rachel lands awkwardly, and then Mercedes locks in the guillotine for Rachel to tap out. Oh.
Yay.
Yep, they're making Mercedes look fucking awesome here.
No, they're not making her look awesome. She already is.
Yes, I beg your pardon.
It's been for a long time.
She has. It really is kind of a shame that it's taken this long for...
It's just bad luck for her.
Mm. But, like, I mean, Mercedes has been about doing this for fucking ages. Yeah. Which is why, like, I would very much love to look at some of these early Shimmer shows, considering we mentioned Shimmer at the beginning of the pay-per-view, and we're going to mention Shimmer again in a little minute.
Yeah.
But, like, just some of these early Shimmer shows, and it's like, it's fun to watch especially the first couple of shows, because some of those are very weird. you see people just before they're about to go to WWE, like Beth Phoenix and Natty Neidhart are on like the first couple of shows. So are people like Chrissy Vane, who then went off to WWE and then didn't do anything. Then you've got people like Amber O'Neil, who are apparently still around in wrestling today, but not in anywhere that prominent. And then you've got people like Mercedes.
Is that the woman that married then divorced Big Gallows?
Indeed, yes. The Bullet Club babe. Then you've got people like Mercedes Martinez,
Rebecca Quinn.
Rebecca Quinn. Yeah, Jesus. Who, she retired after a while and just never came back. You've got, what's her name? Roxy Knox, was it? Nikki Rocks. That was it. Oh, no, you know her. Maybe a bit more somebody known as Roxy Laveau.
Ah, right, okay.
And then you've got, like, obviously Cheerleader Melissa, like, one of the like, I'll still condemn every company for never hiring her. Impact at least gave it a go. And they did fucking nothing with her.
They basically gave her a burqa.
And then even when she wrestled out of the burqa, like as Alyssa Flash, her whole gimmick was, ha ha, do you want to see my titties? Nope. And it's like, seriously, like,
probably their best running Lucha Underground is Mariposa.
Yes, it was. Yeah, you're right. I forgot that she was Mariposa, but yeah, that was like the fact that like Cheerleader Melissa was like arguably one of the greatest women's wrestlers that was ever doing women's wrestling during a period where women's wrestling wasn't a big thing, and then when women's wrestling started to be a thing, absolutely none of the major companies like scooped her up to be arguably one of the heads of the entire division.
I feel like she was in developmental for a bit.
She was, I'm pretty sure. She had a couple of squash matches on Heat as Melissa Anderson. But I don't know. When it comes to Cheerleader Melissa, it's a fucking damn shame that she never got anywhere like high profile, because she fucking deserved it. Like a lot of like these younger women deserved it. Some of them just fizzled out and disappeared. Like Mischief was awesome. But anyway, I'm rambling on about people that some of you may and most of you may not know, but recommend maybe watching some early Shimmer. It's good. And maybe one day we'll look back to this, because I've got a bunch of the DVDs. We can have a peruse.
We can cherry pick.
Exactly. And then even somebody like Chelsea Green, who's in this next match, definitely probably made her staple in some of these earlier Shimmer shows. And then like there's Shimmer and Shine and WSU, which wasn't that great. But she took on Tasha Steelz in the second round of the Knockouts Cup tournament. So there was a long series of reversal pins back and forth between the two of them during this match. And this is kind of one of those points where like Veda Scott, like she was like, oh, a pin, oh, a reversal, oh, a pin, oh, a reversal, another pin. It's like, I mean, I get what she's doing. I'm not like shitting on her, but at the same time, it's just like you don't need to mention every reversal. Just like kind of let it lie a little. Like it's not shitting on her. It's just a observation.
I actually started laughing when she started that, because in my head it translated to "Ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy."
Piece candy.
And I thought that, like in my head, I was like, "That's really funny." She's doing it with pins and reversals. I don't even know if she meant it or not.
I don't think she did. I know, like, there's when I alluded to it at the beginning of the pay-per-view, like the kind of thing I was mentioning was just like there was sometimes where she would just mention like, oh, like she's been in that submission move for about a whole minute, and it's been like 20 seconds, like over exaggeration much. Like just like that's really one of the only kind of things I could take away from the show was like, just
As it wrestling over exaggerated.
I know, but just don't ballpark times when like just one of those things. Just kind of as we say weasel words. Just be like, oh man, she's been in the submission for a long time. Like it sounds better than like putting like actual seconds on it. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, like the fact that like that's the worst criticism that I have of Vader Scott the entire night just goes to show like how
good a job she did.
Very exactly how minimal of a pain in the arse she was. I mean, I've given my thoughts on that tweet that she posted after WrestleMania, and she's wrong, but I'll let that slide. You know, the whole Bad Bunny thing.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. Where she made fun of us for not knowing who Bad Bunny was. It's like, I seriously don't know who Bad Bunny is, but you're right, okay, make fun of me for not knowing who some fucking... anyway, no. Steels hits a big boot for a 2. Green with a cradle for a 2. Both go for a headbutt. Both go down. Double down. The KFC double down.
Stop, you're making my mouth water.
I know, tell me about it. Right, let me take a wee sip of... There we go. There we go. Okay, no more about KFC. Steals with a cutter on the apron again. Like, oosh. She's really rocking that apron cutter. There's a missile dropkick by Green from the top. Tasha gets a crucifix for 2. She freaks the fuck out after that. Steels goes for suplex, but Green hits the unprettier for 2. But I like the way that they both went for what finished their opponent off in the first match, and then both didn't get it. But the whole thing with that is like, you know, the Steel's crucifix is not a finisher, but you know, Green's unprettier absolutely is.
Yeah.
So that was a little weird, but also like I have learned from watching Ring of Honor recently that apparently I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's not actually unprettier, it's unprettier.
Nice wordplay.
The more you know.
No.
Green attempts at Grizz. Green attempts a top rope on Prettier, but Steels holds on. Steels then comes off the top rope, hits the splash, gets the victory. You see a splash. That's one of Tasha Steele's finishing maneuvers.
A frog splash.
Mm-hmm. The frog spleesh.
Sploosh.
There's a Mercedes Martinez interview, and she talks about Steele's cockiness. She says, "Oh yeah, you call yourself the oh my god, what's her name? The Barrico Badass, but Mercedes Martinez, she's a legend, and she's the real Barrico Badass, and Steele's is nothing but a chihuahua."
Because it's a tiny Latino dog.
Yeah. I feel like they need to get a new insult, though, because it seems as if every sort of Latin wrestler calls everybody a chihuahua. Do we not remember the time that Alberto Del Rio came out with an actual chihuahua and put a little mask on the chihuahua and called it Rey Mysterio? Like,
it's because a chihuahua is a South American dog.
I know, but you're not going to get a better visual insult than putting an actual lucha mask on a tiny chihuahua. But, I mean, obviously, Alberto Del Rio, not someone we talk about anymore. So, bleh. Coming up next, Christy fucking Hemme shows up.
Looking amazing.
Jesus Christ. She still looks the same as she did like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How did she do it? Because, I mean, she's had about 46 kids.
When it's right, it's right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I was married to Christy Hemme, I'd probably also have about 46 kids with her, but that's neither here nor there. She comes out and then she announces the next inductee into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, Awesome Kong. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
yeah.
See how just for the Gail Kim rivalry in 2007 and 2008 alone, that puts her on. Just that feud alone.
100%. But like, there's that, and then like, she was also around much after that.
No,
she's done some amazing. She's done
that feud is Hall of Fame worthy, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See if you could put matches into the Hall of Fame, or feuds more specifically, like, which Impact should probably start doing at some point.
I think at some point
WWE should do as well.
I think it's going to become a thing at some point.
Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you have feuds like that stand the test of time. Like, everybody still talks about Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, The Rock versus Stone Cold. Like, in Impact, you've got Kong versus Gale, which is arguably one of the greatest feuds of all time. Like, one of the best things just in general to come from Impact. Like, Impact Wrestling was the company to start doing women's wrestling properly.
Yeah,
and
it was
in America, other than Shimmer and all that stuff as we discussed earlier, but
like a big time promotion. But that feud alone was
a TV promotion.
That feud alone was what put the Knockouts division on the map.
That's arguably what put TNA on the map.
That and the X division.
TNA had some buzz, yeah, from stuff like the X division and yada yada. But Kong and Gale like going at it like fucking constantly. Like that's what pricked a lot of interest from a lot of fans, and it was purely for stuff like that. Like it's like, wait, they have actual women doing actual matches that aren't like fucking 30-second fucking like bra and panties matches, like, and it's like, you know, don't get me wrong, probably by that age I was probably still like, yeah, bra and panties matches, but then like I'm watching Kong and fucking Gail kick each other's asses. They're like, this stuff is the fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm pure sitting there like, man, what an amazing women's match. And it's like the worst thing probably about that is the fact that there are probably Joshis over in like Japan and all that, like doing matches are even like about 10 times as tough and as brutal. And
the thing is, Kong was over in Japan before that, so she's probably had that match. But nobody's seen it.
That's why she gets announced from Tokyo, Japan.
Because her mentor was Aja Kong.
Yeah.
Which is why I got really excited in AEW when Aja Kong came out and tried to confront her. I was like, oh my god, I'm finally going to see it. And then it never happened.
Nothing happened.
But I can let them away.
This is the part.
It's like their second or third show that they ever done.
Yeah. I know, it just kind of sucks that, like, I really wish that Awesome Kong would maybe just have one more match at, like, Bound for Glory, just as your retirement match.
She can.
Can she not?
Oh.
No, she just cannot go.
That's why she's retiring.
Ah, right.
That's why she never really done much in AEW, except beat Brandon because she physically can't.
Ah, that sucks. See, I didn't know she was that, like, worse for wear.
It's her back that's gubbed.
Yeah. Bums. I know, because I thought, like, maybe having, like, you know, your last match at Bound for Glory, maybe against, if it's not going to be Gail, then Taylor Wilde's probably the only other
big
women's wrestler that.
Probably.
Yeah, because that's
big feud that
that's who she won. That's who she won her second Knockouts title off of.
Taylor Wilde won her first one off her.
Yeah, I think like that's literally what happened. Was Kong was champ, Taylor won it in a fluke victory. A couple of months later, lost it back to her.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's exactly how it happened.
It's just, I didn't know she was that worse for wear. It really, that's fucking really sucks now that I know that.
Did you not know
this is part where
down the ramp to the ring, she was walking quite gingerly?
I thought it was because she was wearing heels.
No, it's because her back's
or at least elevated shoes of some kind. But I suppose now you put it in that context, that makes me feel even worse about it. God damn it. But this is the point where she comes out. She kind of gives her speech about thanks for Impact and doodly doo. But then she really gives a lot of this kind of time to once again talk about Daphne. This is the point where she calls it the Monsters Ball match, which amused me highly. Because, you know, Daphne was one of the wrestlers to like kind of like break into that hardcore sort of scene. And it really like kind of elevated Impact after that into like the kind of next level of look how awesome our fucking women are.
Mm-hmm. It did before it fell off a cliff.
Yeah. And then it's fucking clawed its way back up that cliff, though, isn't it?
It has. It's really fought and clawed its way back to a level that if you watched the knockouts from the beginning when the division started, we're back on track.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I would argue that Impact's women's division is one of the best women's divisions going today.
Yep.
AEW struggled. They've finally got a pretty good women's division, but Jesus Christ, did that take time?
I mean, so in fairness, TNA, it took them, 6 years to develop a women's division? If you count from first show in 2002
to
2007. Because before that, you had 4 women on the roster?
Yeah, it was Gail Kim, Trinity, Jacqueline,
and Tracy Brooks.
And Tracy. And then even when Jackie Guerra was on the roster, she never fucking done anything.
Because she was pregnant.
Yeah, but even before that, she was around for ages and she never done anything.
Wasn't around long. She was maybe around for about 2 months.
Really?
Aye, but they done a lot with her in those 2 months.
I could have sworn she was around a lot longer than that, but
there was
and then
2 months.
She never came back after that.
I might be under exaggerating saying 2 months or over. I don't know what I'm talking.
But because she was involved in quite a big storyline with the whole.
Longer than 6 anyway.
Yeah. Because she was involved in quite a big storyline with the whole, I have the videotape, and then that videotape was never revealed.
In my head, it was revealed. In my head, it was. It just wasn't revealed until Daniels and Kazarian got their hands on the tape and played it.
So what was the tape?
Dixie and AJ. And Claire Lynch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God, after all that. Man. Old TNA. That's the nostalgia just washed over me there. Right. Well, speaking of nostalgia, let's get into the Monsters Ball match. Or the Monster Balls match.
Monster Balls.
Monster Balls. They're going to ball you. We had Kimberly versus Savannah Evans versus Alicia Edwards versus Jordan Grace.
Kimberly, fucking star of the show.
Right.
Kimberly was awesome in this match. She took the most fucking damage.
The only criticism I am going to give of Kimberly is before the match started. I don't think that her work in this kind of undead gimmick works because, I don't know, it's something about her entrance where she done that kind of on the ramp. It was that looked really stupid. And not scary like it was meant to be.
I got what she was trying to do. It's very much Pennywell's glitchy style with the moves that she was trying to do.
Yeah, almost like exorcisty in a way. I feel like is what I got from it.
Mm-hmm. I think and the fact that she's a trained dancer as well helps a lot with the movements.
I guess, but I don't know. It was just kind of
when you see it in a film, got the effects and the editing to make it look better. But she's trying to do that with limited resources. and I'll just talk while Graz chokes to death. Oh, it's a big choke. Oh, it's a really big choke. Oh, what a choke.
You really filled that choke with some fucking fantastic content. Appreciate that.
You can't handle
it. I don't know what it is, man. Like, these past couple of days, just anytime I use this, it's just catching me. Like, I really hope I really hope that I'm not getting sick or something.
Are you using a new oil or anything? Because that can do it.
No, it's still the same old oil I've been using. Like, I'm getting close to the end of them, so I'm gonna need to be getting new ones soon. But I don't know. It's just been catching me a lot today. Anyway, nevertheless, I'll just try and not use this as much. Yeah, so I don't know. Just when it comes to I mean, I appreciate it, like, as you say, like, with the whole, she's a dancer, and she's dancing on air. Deal. Rest in peace. But it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I can completely see where you're coming from it, but I guess maybe it's just kind of the whole thing of, like, they're meant to be kind of undead, so slow moving. So when she kind of comes out, it's like it kind of just doesn't hit the same.
No, it's like when I said like Pennywise, it'll come at you quick, but it's dead jittery and glitchy. If you get what I mean. So I think she's just trying to make herself stand out within the group.
She's trying to make it her own kind of thing.
Aye.
Yeah, I mean,
because she's not a zombie. She's not dead.
Okay, yeah, maybe then if you put it that way. Like,
because when Brandy came out, she was kind of twitching. So it's as if they've got their own sort of traits.
Their own kind of, knacks.
So they've got individuality while sort of remaining uniform.
Yeah. That's because I suppose if you just have three of the same person, then it's not as good. So, like, if they have their own kind of undead identities, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just jarring to me. Maybe I'll see if I'll get more used to it, because obviously this is still pretty new. So, and then that's where the criticism of Kimberly stops, because the match fucking starts. Evans powerbombs Grace like it's nothing, which is hella impressive because Grace is a fucking brick shithouse.
Thick.
Yeah, she's thick. And saying that, like, I feel like she's lost so much more weight.
No, like, she has, but that doesn't really mean fat anymore. It means
no. That's not even try. That's not even what I'm trying to imply. Like, just I know what you mean. Like, when you say thick, like, but it's more of an observation of, like, she's slimmed down significantly, and I think it's like she's just gotten more kind of slim while still maintaining mass.
Yeah,
and it's actually, like, because she was always, like, really strong and like quite muscly, and it's like the fact that, like, she's also leaned down while also still maintaining that, like, it's like, that seems like really difficult to do.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But Kimber smashes a pool cue over Evans' back, then puts a trash can over her head, and then smashes it with a crowbar. Kimber then brings in a barbed wire chair.
Did you get it?
Crowbar?
When Kimberly was going out and she had the crowbar, I went, oh, it's one of Daphne's signature weapons. Because she was here with the crowbar.
Ah, nice one. I was going to say, is that a WCW thing that I don't get?
It was when she was engaged to David Flair, and David Flair was teaming with Crowbar.
See, I knew that part. I knew that she was engaged to David Flair at some point. Then she smashes the crowbar into the trash can over the head of Evans. Kimberly then brings out the barbed wire chair, puts it in the corner, and then Mickie James just shouts, "Stupid! Why?" And it's like, bit blunt, but Kimber tries to whip Lish into said chair, but Lish counters Kimberly, and Kimberly goes face first into the barbed wire chair. Lish then goes out of the ring. She finds Kenny, and then she finds Kendra, and Kendra is wrapped in barbed wire. Kimberly's busted wide open.
Kendra was wearing the same outfit as Lish.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. I thought at first it was just a way to make the two of them look different. It's like, oh no, they're color coded, which makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of funny the fact that like over the past sort of year, like I have completely like turned around on Lish.
Yeah, like character and personality. The Wrestle House stuff in Swingers Palace has helped her a lot.
It really has. Because, I mean, the main point of Lish was the fact that
She was just Mrs. Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, but see, during that original Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan feud, and this was before we even covered Impact, it was just that she would just scream at the top of her lungs constantly at the two of them all the time. It's like, just gonna shut up, you pain in the arse. And now that she's...
The Boston accent doesn't help.
It doesn't help now. Now she's definitely like taken aback. Like she's completely away from that. And even the few times where she's involved, she's so much more bearable just because she's like silent rage almost. And it works so much better.
She's evolving.
Yeah. And you know what? She's much more likable for it.
Yeah.
Kimber is busted wide open.
At the start, I forgot to say, at the start of the match, I thought it was really cool that she fucking just went for Kimberly because they took away Swingerella number 3.
Yeah, is she ever going to come back? Has she been eaten?
Some souls are for sustenance. Some are collected.
Maybe that one was for sustenance.
Yeah, just like Kiera Hogan was sustenance.
Yeah, she never came back. She hasn't been seen again since. I mean, there's this new wrestler, Kiera Hogan, that's in AEW. Like, she's got a kind of similar look, but I don't know if she's the same person. I don't think she is. So then Alicia starts beating Kimberly with Kenny and Kendra. So Kenny is the kendo stick. Kendra is also a kendo stick, but wrapped in barbed wire. She then drags the barbed wire over Kimberly's face. Jordan hits a reverse elbow and a Vader splash on Evans for 2. Grace brings in a massive fucking weight, which she holds over her head like it's nothing. So I was like, that's pretty impressive, that. I mean, she's a big, strong girl. She can just hoist weights at a moment's notice. Kimberly has a bag of tacks. Grace hits a muscle buster on Kimberly into the tacks. And then there's this amazing shot later on where you see Kimberly at ringside just pulling thumbtacks out of her arm, and you just see like her whole like arm flesh just stretch as she's pulling them out, and it's just like
when she was on like her stomach outside, you could actually see like the tacks pinning her hair to her body.
Ooh. Brutal. Like, as I say, poor Kim here, because Lish gets a sort of DDT in his some of the for 2. Grace drops Lish face first onto the weight, and then Lish then rolls off the weight into the tacks.
Yeah.
But to set that up, Alicia picks up this big heavy weight, and I mean, like, Alicia, like, she just kind of picks up like it's nothing as well, and it's like, there's a bit of a difference here. Like, well, Alicia should not be able to pick up
long here.
Like, I feel like part of the thing should be like Alicia goes, grabs the weight, can't lift it up because it's too heavy, and then that causes a distraction that allows Jordan Grace to then hit the...
even at least show her struggling picking it up, but
yeah,
her acting like it's heavy.
She picked it up like it was a piece of paper.
Dumbass.
And it's like, I know, I feel like that was just an oversight.
Probably just
Evans. Yeah, maybe. Like, I mean, I'd say an oversight. It could be an oversight of Lish. It could be an oversight of the fucking person who put the match together. Was what it was. Anyway. Like, Alicia still took some tacks because she got dropped onto the big weight. Then she rolled into the tacks, which is like brutal. And then Evans, who's barely been in this fucking match, comes in, throws a bucket of chalk in the face of Grace, who Grace brought that to the ring. That's the full Nelson bomb on Alicia. 1, 2, 3. Evans wins, despite the fact that she does absolutely nothing.
I was kind of pissed off for that.
Yeah, so was I.
Like, I felt so bad for Kimberly.
I know.
What effort she put into this to make it fucking special.
Like, it's not even just the amount of effort that Kimberly herself put in it. The amount of effort the other 3 women put into it. Like,
Kimberly took all the damage.
Yeah, she was the only one that bladed. She was the only one that kind of took like an actual full fucking shot into the tacks. She was the one that took a full shot into the face with the barbed wire chair. Like, she's the one that like, she was the only one in this match that put her body actually on the line. Everybody else wrestled around her, and like, yeah, they took some tacks. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, Kimberly would fucking starve this match, and like, the respect that I have for Kimberly went up like fucking tenfold just because of this match. I know the shit that she did.
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, like, the least you could do is just maybe give her the win. Like, even if it was just like a kind of fluky kind of, instead of Savannah Evans, it was Kimberly that ran in and hit her finisher. Like, after all the shit that she went through, like, I just feel like that's a bit shitty, to be honest with you.
No, it was. I'm totally agreement with you. But they're trying to get Savannah over as a big monster.
Yeah, but she sucks. I don't like her.
I can see why.
Because she sucks.
I don't like her, but I don't not like her. I'm very much kind of meh.
I mean, I feel like when it comes to you, it's you've not seen enough of her yet.
It's just kind of,
and I think that's kind of why you're slightly meh on the whole subject. Granted, I haven't seen much more than you, but like I've seen a couple of matches that she's had on Dark, and she ain't impressed me all there either. But we're nearly there.
I can see
because we have the final of the Knockouts Cup tournament. Mercedes Martinez taking on Tasha Steelz.
The battle of the Boricua badasses.
Ah, right there. Fucking mute button. I swear to God. The winner of this will become the baddest Boricua badass. The BBB. A? Yes. A? Holmes. So Mercedes kind of starts this match off with a series of butterfly suplexes. She attempts the OG drop, but Tasha rolls out. Tasha gets the cutter, but can't follow up. Mercedes stays on the offense with shoulders on the corner. Mercedes goes up top with Tasha, but Tasha slips out again. There's a lobster kick and a Rana by Steelz for 2. Then Tasha Steelz legit hits Stratisfaction for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes is on the apron while Steelz is up top. Mercedes with a pretty much toe punt to the face of Tasha Steelz. This sets her up for the OG drop. 1, 2, 3. Mercedes Martinez wins the tournament. And yeah, sure, like Mercedes is fucking awesome. But as I kind of alluded to earlier, and I'm going to roundabout go again, this was Tasha Steelz' tournament. Like, when she proved that she's genuinely like an awesome wrestler. Like, all 3 matches that she was in, she looked fantastic. And this has been the first time that I have like actually came away from a Tasha Steelz match going, yeah, you know what? She actually had something.
On that night, Tasha steals the show.
She does. And the worrying thing is, after this, is she just going to go back to being Tasha Steelz with Savannah Evans at ringside and going back to the old hoopla?
Well, Tasha Steelz will be back in her corner. But the reason she wasn't there was because Savannah was in Monsters Ball. And she said that in her match promo.
I know, but like,
and it's not.
I'm hoping that
it's not supposed to be a tag team. She's supposed to be like her bodyguard.
I know, but what I'm kind of saying is like, I'm hoping that after this tournament, it shows how much
she doesn't need one.
Like, exactly. Like, sure, she can have Savannah Evans, but maybe just like, it doesn't mean that Savannah needs to be involved in like finishes and all that, and she can just be at ringside for, whatever, like in case of run-ins and that kind of thing, and Tasha can finish off people on her own, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It makes sense. Like, the performance...
Because it's just...
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, as I said, it's just the way that she looked like so good through all these matches, and she did it without needing a second at ringside to interfere for her and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's also kind of interesting the fact that like Mercedes wins this tournament, considering, I mean, at least on TV, she's not fully part of the Impact roster yet. I'm going to assume that's maybe changed since then.
Maybe.
Can't say that I've heard anything of it.
Or
then Gail,
like they did Jazz.
Yeah. But with this,
you're on a bit of a high note.
But with this, Mercedes Martinez has now gained a championship opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gail gives her the belt.
Diona, you retain it, Bound for Glory, because I want to see Diona versus Mercedes.
I'm in a bit of two minds about who I really kind of want to win at the pay-per-view. Maybe when we get a bit closer to it, we can have a chat about that. So throughout this entire show, though, Mickey just keeps claiming that she will be the Knockouts champion come Bound for Glory, and so Mickey is pretty much just saying, "Oh yeah, so after Bound for Glory, it's going to be me and Mercedes," which she just kept saying that through the entire night. Oh, any of these people that win this tournament is going to be facing me after I win the belt at Bound for Glory. And it's like, I don't know if she's both protesting too much or spoiler.
Could be a bit of both.
Yeah.
She's getting over the fact that she fucking hates Diona and she's going to rip her to shreds.
I mean, wouldn't you if she appeared on your farm and beat the hell out of you?
My son was there. Oof.
He'd probably like, that's Deanna Perrazzo from your work.
Right. Hi, Auntie Diona.
So just before the main event, they run the ad for the mental health cause known as Tag Me In. And like, Jesus Christ, like this was fucking emotional, man.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Especially fucking W. Morrissey's like the little bit they did.
Yes.
Fucking humanizing the guy.
Because, like, I mean, everything that he said during this wee thing, and then a promo that he done a couple of months ago, everything kind of makes sense now. Like, mind that random indie show where he just went down, and instead of
collapsed
for help, everybody get their fucking phones out. It basically went, he's junkies, this, he's that, he's blah, blah, blah.
Look at the state of this fucking prick.
Aye.
Because like there was like obviously those photos that came out and he was pretty like chubby and all that stuff as well. Like he had like gained a lot of gut weight.
Just felt watching that, I just kind of thought of that and I went, you poor man.
I know. that put everything in perspective. I was like, Jesus Christ, all you people that like fucking properly like made fun of the guy and he fucking passed out of like struggling through all this shit, and all you people thought was like, I'm gonna get my phone out and be like, bet you I could give this to Dave Meltzer and he could like run a story on it and then tag me and then I'll get so many followers.
It just puts things into perspective, and I'm happy for him that he's in a good place now and he's healthy. And he's fucking, so to be honest, he's fucking killing it in Impact.
I think he's probably in the best shape he's ever been in.
Just the name change alone has done him wonders. Get away from Cass.
Yeah. Get away with anything that associates him with that whole sort of thing. And I don't even mean that in a way that, like, gets him away from association with Enzo, because Enzo's still about as well. Like, he's just doing his own thing now. Like, the two of them are doing their own thing. Like, that's cool. And you know what? Cass looks better for it. He's just under a better name now. Like, W. Morrissey, like, I don't know why, but just the fact that it's W. Morrissey, for some reason, that's really intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But we wrap this pay-per-view up with your main event of the evening. The only match with a title on the line, which I believe is probably the only reason why this is the main event, because I probably would have had the final of the tournament be the main event.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, but at the same time, did you hear that pop for Decay?
Decay are the most overact in Impact. Like,
yes.
Fight me. Like the only
no fight required. I wouldn't even say Decay over. Rosemary.
Yeah, like,
is the most overact in Impact.
See, the thing is, the rest of Decay, they're over, but I feel like they're over because they're associated.
They're here in Rosemary's. Up there.
And I mean, like, I love Rosemary. I've always loved Rosemary since day dot. I don't like. It's weird to say that I don't understand why she's so over. Like,
she's basically like, the way that I look at it is she's a holdover from the former regime. She was popular then, and she stayed the same, changing, like just fine tune some things here and there,
tweaks,
and she's been a
just
constant for the last years, and the fans can rely on anywhere.
As Mick Foley used to say when he was in TNA, just tweak, just a little tweak. It's a little tweak here.
She's with.
That was a good reference.
And I think she's going to be there until she's done. And I think the fans know that, so they know that Rosemary's their girl, and she won't leave them.
She's a diehard.
Aye.
I know, because even like, I was like, oh well, why doesn't Crazy Steve get that kind of pop? I was like, that's because Crazy Steve fucking left. He left for fucking
and failed.
Allegedly, like, I mean,
he got.
I remember reading.
He got the tryout and didn't get the call back.
I know a lot of people from that got that Crazy Steve was signed by NXT.
He wasn't.
Because that was the report for a while, like, because a lot of people like were like, oh, Crazy Steve has been picked up by NXT, and then months later they were like, wasn't Crazy Steve picked up by NXT and then he showed back up in Impact? It's like, last that we heard of Crazy Steve, he was picked up by NXT, but I guess not.
No, he was never picked up. He went for the tryout and he never got the call back. And then he just sort of, I think he chilled out. He sort of chilled for a year and then come back.
Yeah. Probably because he is blind.
Yeah, he's legally blind.
Yeah. Maybe WWE didn't kind of want that shit on their conscience. Or not their conscience, but like just like...
Especially when they don't offer insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
When they can clearly afford it. But back to the match.
Jesus. WWE can afford anything that they want. It's just they refuse to. There's a difference. So, Decay scared the hell out of Melissa during their entrance, or their introduction, where they kind of come in, they're like, start playing with their hair, and then she just was like...
Both teams fucked about with her. Cause
but like, Decay fucked with them
Tina
more.
Standing in front of her, fucking nudging her out of the way, being like, get the fuck out of her way, you dog.
Yeah.
Then
You're right, that was quite good.
Like almost teasing her and playing with her as if they're going to eat her.
And then Rosemary's just like, hair. And then she was like, and fuck this shit. And then she just ran out the ring.
Yeah. But I mean, she should be used to the weird stuff after working in the temple for so long.
I know, Jesus, she's seen more weird shit than fucking Decay. Tenille goes into the upside down. Caleb with a K grabs Rosemary's leg at one point, and Madison leads Rosemary into a lariat that gains the influence, the advantage. Dash with the baseball slide to the outside and then grabs the hair of Rosemary while she's stuck in the tree of whoa. Again, flexibleness really helps. Tenille hits the Dashmite sandwich for 2. Havoc finally gets in, goes to town on Rain. There's a squish in the corner and they're covered by Havoc, but Dash breaks up the count. The influence send Rosemary into Havoc. And the influence hit the collab. But the ref is looking on the outside as the other members of Decay start chasing Caleb back up the ramp. The ref finally turns around, gets a 1 count as Madison Rain gets off and starts bawling at the fucking ref. The influence try a double clothesline, but no dice. The Russian leg sweep and the spear, which I've called the Russian spear sweep, and Decay retain the Impact Tag Team titles.
Good match. Nothing really bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing really great about it either, though.
Nothing stand out. But middle of the field.
Which is why, like, I would kind of argue this maybe shouldn't have been the main event, but I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I understand it being the main event because it was the only match on the card that had titles on the line. Can completely understand that. But it was kind of short. There wasn't much to it. But I got it from purely that aspect of titles on the line. Of course, that's going to be the main event if it was going to be the only title match that we had. But then the pay-per-view goes off the air. But just before we go, something a little bit inspirational comes up.
Hello, pot chops.
You got the questions?
And we give you the answers.
it's time for the questions of the week. Yeah, that doesn't work over Skype because there's a delay.
I fucking love the inspiration.
The inspiration are coming to Impact. And if you couldn't tell from the way that we were speaking, it's gone to fucking Ringo Starr now, god damn it. If you couldn't tell from the way that we were speaking, then the Australian tag team, the Iconics, were coming to Impact Wrestling.
Not only that, they've had their match announced.
Gah.
The inspiration are challenging Decay.
But it's Crazy Steve and Black Taurus.
No, they're going straight for the tag titles.
Oh, and they're going to win.
And I'm going to be happy.
And so am I.
Because I'm a motherfucking
again,
pork chop.
I'm a pork chop too. We're both pork chops. And I'm excited. Like, fucking love Decay, but, you know, it is what it is.
They've beat all the other tag teams in the division.
Yeah. It's time to be inspirational now. Like, just deal with it.
Totally agree.
Sweet. And well, that was Knockouts Knockdown. That was pretty good fun, must admit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that the first match of the first round is already longer than all of the matches in the first round of this Queen's Crown tournament put together.
Pretty sure the first round of this tournament was probably longer than all of the first round matches. Because
I said the first match of the first round of this tournament is longer than the whole first round of Queen's Crown tournament.
Yeah, that was just trying to say, but I just misheard you. I beg your pardon. Yeah, Jesus, like. Why has the King of the Ring been about 40 minutes, but the women's equivalent has been given less than 10? That's like, it's not even a quarter. It's less than a quarter of the time. And the choices of the people that they have in the Queen of the Ring or the Queen's Crown or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, so do I. And Jesus, if fucking Queen's Quest were in this tournament, we'd be talking about a completely different fucking thing right now.
I'm just going to call it Queen of the Ring because that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's depressing. I mean, at least Dewdrop's still in it.
Until next week, because my pick's Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, same. Pretty fucking easy.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Ace Austin.
Yeah, that too.
Right. Well, I guess that's another wrap. Why don't you hit us with one of those?
Cool.
You really needed to think about that there, didn't you? See.
Is the anticipation.
The anticipation.
Stop looking at me like that. You're going to give me a wide on.
And I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
Remember, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Heel Podcast. And also, don't forget, you can hear our archives on the World Wide Web at heelpodcast.co.uk. Well, that's all, folks. So long. Have a good day.